Donald Trump last night on Jimmy Kimmel. You know, I got to say that, like, I don't feel that a late night talk show host has an obligation to have Donald Trump on. I mean, I do think that, like, there's got to be a line, right? Like, I understand that news organizations need to do this because I don't see how they could really serve their function as a news organization. Now, I guess Jimmy Kimmel probably asked, good questions or didn't. I don't know. Frankly, I didn't watch it. But I'll tell you why I have a little bit of a problem with this. Here's Trump last night and talking about debates. Now, this could lead to something or it may not, but here it is. This is clip number 5.
I think it's very unfair what's happening to Bernie Sanders, actually, and it's a system that's not a good system.
I asked Bernie Sanders because he's going to be here tomorrow to ask a question. Okay. Have you met Bernie? Have you guys ever met before?
I've never really had the privilege.
I see. Okay, so here's the question from Bernie. He asked, Hillary Clinton backed out of an agreement to debate me in California before the June 7th primary.
Right.
Are you prepared to debate the major issues facing our largest state and the country before the California primary? Yes or no? He wants to know if you will debate him.
Yes, I am. How much is he going to pay me?
You would do it for a price? What would the price be?
Yeah, because if I debated him, we would have such high ratings, and I think I should take that money and give it to some worthy charity, okay?
So if it was done for charity, you would agree to do that?
If he paid a nice sum toward a charity, I would love to do that.
Oh, interesting. What if the network put up the money and then you guys came in?
That could happen also.
That could
happen. In fact,
happen.
I've been saying that should happen anyway. You know, when we did the Republican debates, the Fox had 24 million people, the largest in the history of cable television. CNN, 3 weeks later, had 23 million people, the largest in the history of CNN. Think of it, CNN with all the wars and all the things they cover, it's the largest audience they've ever had. The largest audience ever on cable was Fox a couple of weeks before. And I must say, I think I had a lot to do with that, okay? But I said, why aren't we getting paid for this? And give the money to charity. And I actually, as you know, I've been saying this for a long time. Get paid, give the money to charity, pick good charities, and give the money to charity.
Now, put aside the fact that the guy is a serial liar about giving money to charities. That sounds to me like a pretty earnest response to Jimmy Kimmel's question, will you debate Bernie Sanders? He said, yeah, if we give it to charity. Now, here's the problem I have with a comedy show having on a guy like this onto their show. Now, obviously, they're just doing it for ratings, and that's the business they're in and whatnot. And I guess each host makes their own decision about this, and maybe they'll all have him on if they can get him on. But the problem is, the next day, Donald Trump's spokesperson says, hey, he was just kidding. He was a joke.
It was a real knee slapper.
And yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily the greatest formulation.
Especially for him.
But yeah, but I think, the point is, I was on a comedy show. And so I was just joking around. And so I'm not going to take it seriously. And frankly, he could say that about anything, any question that he could be asked in that context. So I don't know. I think there's a little bit of mainstreaming here. I mean, look, the reason why these politicians go on to these shows in the first place is always a very cynical reason, and they want to seem more human. And I just, personally, for me, I wouldn't want to participate in something like that. But I mean, that's why I'm sitting in this room, and he's sitting in a big set. I don't know.
The musical guests canceled.
That's right.
Belly and The Weeknd.
First, Belly canceled because they didn't want to be on the same show with Donald Trump.
It's a he guy. It's a Belly.
Okay.
A guy.
He, she, doesn't matter to me. Belly, the band or guy, canceled. And then The Weeknd guy, gal, whatever. I don't know. But the point is that there were people, human beings, who said, meh, not worth the exposure for me if I'm going to be tainted in that respect. And so good for them.
It's not quite the same thing because Trump wasn't always political, but one late night host who I've seen be kind of quiet about the whole Trump thing is Conan, because when Trump was at NBC, he was regular on Conan, like all the time. He's all over the best of DVD. Like it's kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, look, that's a different type of situation, isn't it? I mean, the guy's not running as a politician, and that's a fairly mainstream thing for reality TV and scummy people to do, is to go on a talk show. That's not that big of a deal.
Wasn't it that show Laugh-In, that old show that Nixon appeared on? Do you remember this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar situation.
Yes. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.